Hello everyone, welcome back to a first video of our geology class. So in today's video we are going to do 3 chapters, the first chapter, the third and the sixth chapter. Okay, the yellow ones marked on your screen as you can see. So let's begin without wasting any time. The first chapter, the dynamic earth. Okay, so let me tell you one thing. So in a HSC board paper, there is nothing going to come from outside, out of the textbook. Everything going to come from inside the textbook. It can be text back, it can be on the exercise, it can be from anywhere from your textbook, inside the chapter only, nothing from outside. So let us start from this. Okay, you can read the introduction, there's nothing much given over here. Okay, from this like nothing comes. Going to the next topic, first topic, interior of the earth. So in this I have my textbook over here, you can see on the screen. So in this you can see at the very first it's given about the introduction of the earth, basically like how was earth formed. Okay, so you can mark this over here. Okay, like it was formed from nebula. The earth evolved as a planet from a solar nebula around 4.56 and gradually shaped into a spherical body. You can see then the crust was formed. Then this was the temperature of the universe. Okay, then presently the average temperature of the earth is this much. All about the earth. Okay, so this is the basic information about the earth. Then here you come to the next side. You can see here, you can mark this thing over here. The heat loss occurs by the processes such as conduction, convection and advection. Okay, now the heat generated mainly in the form of primordial heat. This can come as maybe a MCQ, maybe a one sentence. What I'm highlighting, just mark with the pencil in your book also if you have it close by. Then this is come down over here. You can see convection plays a major role in driving the plates. This entire thing should be marked. Okay, you can read this thing. You can come down. You can see formation of earth is from an asteroid. You can mark this too. Then you can come, this reading part. From this, like most of it nothing comes. Okay, then you can come over here down. The overall size of the planet is increased because of the addition of masses. Okay, next we come to the next page. Okay, next page is like you can mark over here. I'll underline it. Earth comprises mainly of silicate minerals. You can underline this, or compounds of minerals. Okay, then you can come down over here with pressure, molten magmatic diamond. Okay, then come to the next side. Okay, there's nothing much over here giving. Okay, now these are the elements which heavier elements like iron and nickel sank towards the center of gravity of the forming the inner core. Okay, so here this is the main part from where it starts, this chapter, the core. Okay, now this core can come as a short note. Write a short note on core. So I'll write a short note on core for 2 marks. Okay, for 2 marks it can come. Okay, so you can see core is divided into the inner and outer core. Okay, then it is under stable condition of iron and nickel compounds, where pressure increases in the inner core and hence it remains solid. Lowering of pressure means the melting of iron nickel to produce the outer core liquid form. Okay, the outer core is more dynamic as compared to the inner one. Okay, so information of the core is given through seismology. Okay, and that's where it starts, the inner core. Okay, now this entire thing can come for how many marks? I told you 2 marks. So inner core is for 1 mark, outer core for 1 mark, and half mark. Okay, yeah, that's it, 2 marks. So you can just give a small intro about this core. Okay, you can say the inner core, outer core. Outer core is solid, inner core is solid, outer core is liquid. Outer core is more dynamic, you can say, and it can be helped, information can be acquired through seismology, you can say about that. Okay, next you can come to the inner core. Inner core, you can say that you can say first about the temperature. This is 1 mark. Okay, inner core temperature, say about the temperature. Leftover heat is called as primordial heat. Then say about the thickness, you can say your second point. Okay, third point you can say is about the tremendous pressure. Okay, you can say this is your third point. Okay, that's it, 3 points for inner core. And outer core, again same thing, you can say about the thickness. Here they have given the density also, if you want you can say that. Temperature is given, you can say that also. Okay, then there are, okay, then you can say this one extra point is given over here. Outer core is comprised of iron and nickel. Okay, then 10% of oxygen and sulfur is present. Okay, that's it about the core. Okay, now we come to the next small part, is given discontinuities. Discontinuities, what are discontinuities? They are layered boundaries in the interior of the earth. Now boundary between inner core, this is important, boundary between inner core and outer core is called as Lehmann discontinuity. This can come as a 1 mark or an MCQ. Okay, the Lehmann discontinuity, named after the Danish seismologist Lehmann. So this diagram is very important. Okay, this diagram is very important. This diagram comes, mostly it comes. Okay, or else they can ask you what is that, suppose they can ask you what is the discontinuity present in the mesosphere. Okay, mesosphere, like repeated discontinuity. Okay, what is the discontinuity present in the barosphere, Lehmann. Okay, what is the discontinuity present between mesosphere and barosphere, you can say Gutenberg. Okay, discontinuity present in lithosphere, you can say Moho discontinuity. Okay, so this diagram is very important. This diagram, one question at least be asked, only 1 or 2 questions. Okay, coming down to the next part, mantle. Okay, same like how I told you for the core, same thing comprises over here. You can write this also, you can write a short note for 2 marks, anything can come. Okay, for 2 marks, same goal, just give a small introduction about the mantle and then proceed for lower mantle, upper mantle, the 2 mantles. Same thing, say this is viscous, upper mantle is viscous, sorry, the lower mantle is more viscous as compared to the upper one. You can high temperatures, contains of what elements are present, like magnesium, silicon, oxygen, iron. Okay, now this is a small thing to be noted. Typical mineral known as perivosite. Okay, perivosite. Okay, this can come also as a 1 mark or MCQ, or name the following also, it can come. Okay, next you move on to upper mantle, same thing, you can say this is present in the lithosphere and asthenosphere. Okay, you can say about the thickness. Okay, it floats on top of the asthenosphere. Temperature, it is less rigid and behaves plastically. Lithosphere, present rock known as peridots. This is important, peridots, important, like typical small things should be noted from this. It can come as 1 marks. Due to the presence of olivine, pyroxene is used. Okay, so in the lithosphere mainly peridots, and due to the presence of mineral olivine, pyroxenes are used. Peridots are heavier and hence they sink into the upper mantle. Okay, you can see peridots are heavier and sink into the upper mantle. Okay, next we move on to the crust. Okay, now crust also comes for 2 marks. Okay, why 2 marks I will tell you. Okay, the crust is the most brittle and fragile. Okay, even this can come for 2 marks. Okay, it presents of mountains, ocean floor, landforms, lithosphere. Crust under the ocean is thin. Ocean is thin, measuring 5 to 10, and under land it is greater, 20 to 70. Therefore, they are divided into oceanic crust and continental crust. Okay, so 1 mark for oceanic, 1 mark for continental. So, I have to explain continental and oceanic crust. The first oceanic crust we will explain. It is composed of basalt. Okay, large amount of in continental granites. Okay, so you can see oceanic make basalt, continental make granites. However, continental is eroded and transferred to the ocean basin in the form of sediments, okay, which can be later recycled along with oceanic crust. Rocks such as 3.8 gallium can be found on continental crust, very old rocks. Okay, continents are therefore rich in. Okay, so this is a small explanation. Okay, so this can come as a 1 mark only. Or name the 2 types of crust, oceanic crust and continental crust. So that's it, nothing much. Actually the answer comes in here only. Okay, starting. Okay, that's it about crust. Next we move on to the next page, is about the continental drift. Okay, continental drift theory. Okay, so mostly this comes, but this also comes, but not as much as these 3 short notes as I told you. Okay, so what we can infer from this continental drift theory is that it was first of all discovered in the 17th century. Continental drift theory is basically like Earth was not formed at that time. Continents drifted. As a result, this theory came into consideration. Okay, so here's a small line written, you can note this down. The continental drift is a basic theory which evolved a concept of plate tectonics. Okay, a revolution in geology. So this is an important sentence. Okay, so basically what is this, we can come to know in the next page. Okay, these are the different geologists which discovered actually plate tectonics, you can say. Next page we come on to, this is the main part of plate tectonics, continental drift theory. Yes, this entire paragraph is important. Alfred Wegener proposed this theory in 1915, published in a book entitled The Origin of Continents and Ocean. Okay, this is an important thing to be noted. He proposed the existence of supercontinent called Pangaea. This can come as an, okay, so this is an important MCQ to be noted. Pangaea, this can come. Okay, this can come as an MCQ. Okay, note this down in your textbook also. This is to be learned. Okay, moving on to the next part here, the next side. Okay, he further gathered various evidences. Okay, such evidences to support continental drift theory. Okay, suppose if you want to propose any theory, you should have evidences, should have proper relevant things to be proposed front of various scientists or various geologists which come to here at the session. So you should have various evidences to show. So the first evidence he saw that fit of the continents you can see over here. Okay, you can see how these continents fitted in picture A, South America and Africa. Okay, so see, later on they were separated, as you know. Okay, second was fossil similarities. Fossil similarity you can see in B, like South America and Africa had the same, Africa, India and Antarctica had the same. You can see South America, little part of Africa, Antarctica and Australia had the same. You can see these are the animals over here. Okay, these are the fossils which can say Mesosaurus, Lystrosaurus, Glossopteris, Psychognathus, Triassic reptile. So you can see these are similarities in fossils. Next is matching of mountain ranges. Matching of mountain ranges, you can see over here. Now these mountains, North America, okay, and you can see this red marks, these are similar mountains. And your last part is D1, rock types, structural similarities. So you can see all these yellow parts had similar rock types. You can see these continents were first joined and then they were separated due to continental drift theory. So this was, and the last one more, he had paleoclimatic evidences. Paleoclimatic evidences also you can see, like these continents had similar, these part of the continent had similar climatic conditions. So that's why you can say that they were joined together and further later on they were separated. Okay, so that's it for this. Now we come to plate tectonics. Like plate tectonics, let me see what is there. Okay, you can come down, there is nothing much over here, you can see. Okay, plate tectonics are well defined as belts of seismicity. Example this. What I'm underlining, please underline in your book so that later it will become for your good preference later on when you are revising or when you are learning on later. Okay. Okay, next here one small point was there. Wegener drift theory suggests that continents broke through ocean crust. This is the main line. Okay, like how it proposes, breaks through ice, not convincing. Okay, this is the main line. Okay, and also this line in continent drifts, they were supported by the ocean in magmatic anomalies and the apparent polar weathering. Okay, okay, nothing much over here. Next we come to the plate boundaries. Okay, there are two types of plate boundaries: divergent also called as constructive, and convergent also called as destructive. And the third one also is that transform fall boundaries, but this is not much used. Nothing, it's not much asked actually. Basically conservative. Okay, okay, now these are the divergent plate boundaries. So the first line is the main line actually. These boundaries are located along oceanic ridges. Okay, hence they are called as, where ocean floor is spreading, hence they are called as constructive. Okay, they form a new plate. This is the main part. Okay, and you can see the diagram over here. Okay, and पीछे उसका example is given. Okay, example is what? Continental rifts. Okay, these are the example, best example is over here. Okay, East African Rift Valley and the Rhine Valley of North Europe. And this can be asked also as a 1 mark, or they can ask this as what is divergent and convergent. Distinguish, they can ask a 2 mark question or a 1 mark question. So you can give a small explanation, and along with that you can give a example. Okay, okay, so this is the diagram for that Rift Valley. Okay, so these are, you can read off and you can understand using this diagram. Okay, okay, so along with one is the sea floor is elevated. Okay, so just give this a small explanation and the example. That's it. Okay, next we will move on to convergent plate boundaries. Okay, okay, so this is the East African Rift Valley. Next move on to convergent plate boundaries. Convergent plate boundaries, the main older portion, then newer was the older portion of oceanic plates, hence they are called as destructive plate margins. This descending plates from subduction zones. Okay, this also can come. Small points can come for 45 degree. Okay, the plate dips at an average angle 45 degrees. Hence they are classified into 3 types: ocean continent convergence, ocean convergence, continent convergence. Okay, very simple to remember. This is the 3 diagram of 3 representing those 3 types. Next move on to transform plate boundaries. This is the main point. Plates slide past one another. Okay, okay, without creating destroying lithosphere. Transform fall, most of the transform walls join 2 segments of mid-ocean, hence are called as fracture zones. Example of this is San Andreas fault and the Alpine fault of New Zealand. Okay, this is the diagram. No need for drawing the diagram. Okay, just say about it and say the 3 types, or say about this, say one example. That's it. Okay, basically. Okay, and we come to the last part, is types of mountains. Okay, there are basically, okay, so there are 4 types of mountains you can see over here: fold mountain, fault block mountain, volcanic, and relict. Okay, these are the this fold mountains when 2 plates collide or compressive forces develop. Okay, many of the great mountains as Andes, Himalayas, and Rockies. Fault block mountain, either side of the fault. Okay, some are pushed up while others are pushed down. Okay, resulting in elevation. Hence, Satpura and Vindhyas are fault block. Volcanic are what? When magma erupts all the way to the surface, hot magma will cool, forming mountain. When magma comes out of the volcano, that forms a mountain. Best example is Mount Fuji and the Barren Island, which is an active volcano in India. Last is relic mountain, are formed due to differential erosion. Last time in 2022, we had got this 2022 mein this answer had come. Write a short note on relic volcanic mountain 2022. Okay, it had come for 3 marks. Okay, so you have to write 3 points along with this example. 2 examples, you will get your marks. Okay, 2022 के पेपर में ये रिजल्ट कम. Okay, okay, so moving on to the next part. Okay, this is just basic thing, nothing much. Okay, so I'm also going to give you at least the small questions which I can answer. Moving on fast. Okay, so the first answer is difference between the temperature. Exercise answer. Okay, the difference between the temperature of the universe and interior of the earth is how much? Answer is 6000 degrees Celsius. The lower boundary of the mantle convection is set at about 2900 kilometer. Okay, this can come. Okay, this can come. Okay, this, although the inner core and outer core are approximately the same composition, the inner core remains solid due to this increase in melting point of the compound due to increase in pressure. When 2 plates collide, they are likely to form fold mountain. Okay, okay, next, very short answer. Okay, I'll just say the answer. You can write it in your textbook or your notebook if you have quietly. I can't write the answer right now. So how do convection current maintain the temperature of the mantle? Okay, the convection currents maintain the temperature of the mantle by silicate compounds. By silicate compounds. A very short answer, so just in one word you can answer it. By silicate compounds. What controls the temperature gradient of the earth? Altitude. Altitude is the answer. Okay. What is the main driving force for plate motion? Convection current. Convection current. Why has the radius of the earth increased from its very early stage of formation? The answer is due to the addition of mass that occurred when the earth revolves around its orbit. Due to the addition of the mass that occurred when the earth revolves around the orbit. Okay, these are the short answers. You can type it out from Google. It will come out very easily. I've also told you content is easy. This is one small thing I want to give you. Give two examples of the continental mass that broke up as a result of breakup of supercontinent Pangaea. Answer is Gondwana land and Laurasia. Gondwana land and Laurasia. Okay, this answer is not in this chapter. It's in the next chapter. I'll tell you over there. Okay, answer is Gondwana land and Laurasia. Next chapter. Okay, that's it for this chapter. So moving on to the next chapter, that is the third one, paleontology and stratigraphy. Okay, so the previous chapter we cited dynamic earth. It comes with option for 7 marks and without option for 5 marks. Okay, so this chapter, paleontology and stratigraphy, as I've told you, it comes for 16 marks with option and without option for 12 marks. Means 12 marks is compulsory. So it's a big chapter, big marks can be taken from this chapter. So paleontology and stratigraphy, let's see what we can infer from this chapter. Okay, paleontology and stratigraphy. Paleontology is the study of ancient fossils. Paleo means ancient, ontos means life, and logos means study. This is just a basic thing. Everyone can read them on their own. Okay, nothing much from this paragraph at least. Come down over here. Paleontology studies deals with taxonomy, morphology of hard parts. Okay, so this is the what the entire chapter is based on this paragraph actually. Taxonomy, morphology, hard parts, the interrelationship, environmental implication, distribution, age, evolution of ancient life. Actually basic things are this. Okay, so what is taxonomy? Basically taxonomy is classification of living things and extinct things. Okay, morphology of hard parts means studying the hard parts actually. Nature, interrelationship, this you can understand in your own, it's very simple. Okay, now this is the another main part. Two major branches of paleontology. The first half of the chapter, major branches is what? Paleozoology and paleobotany. Okay, these are the main two branches. It can be asked, not compulsory, can be. Okay, paleobotany, the second part, deals with plant fossils, while paleozoology deals with vertebrate and invertebrate, basically of animals basically. This is of plants. Now another field in that is micropaleontology. That deals with what? Micro matlab what? Small. So micro deals with microfossils. Paleoincology comprises of ichnofossils or trace fossils. Trace fossils we will study in this chapter. I'll tell you later. Paleontology or paleopaleontology is another branch which deals with the organic world microfossils like pollen, spores, seeds. It actually it's paleobotany only, but more micro things inside that. Inside what? Paleobotany. Okay. So come down. Okay, now this is an important paragraph. Prerequisites of fossilization. This is a question which came in 2022. Now let me tell you for 3 marks. Okay, I am going to give you the paper of 2022 and 2023, two papers which came in the HSC board. Okay, so I'll give you that later PDF. Okay, so going forward, this is a entire paragraph actually to be studied, not to be studied, even if you memorize it and write in your own words, you can get it done. Okay, when an organism is buried quickly, there is less decay and better chance to be preserved as it does not come in contact with oxygen. Hard parts of organisms such as bones, shells, teeth have better chance of being fossilized. Okay, so these are just to be remembered, you can read on your own, but this is an answer which had come 2022. Okay, now the main thing is over here. Okay, this is the small intro to give, 1 mark you can say for the intro, and this is the main thing. These are the prerequisites, the 3 prerequisites, 1, 2 and 3 to be learned. Yes, to be learned. Okay, it is necessary that the organism possesses a skeleton of hard parts that can withstand decomposition. Composition and structure with hard parts should be suitable for preservation. Further on, it should be covered or buried quickly by some sediments so that dispersal and disintegration of hard part of skeleton is prevented. Okay, these are the 3 things should be remembered. 2022 3 marks question had come. Next, a small thing to be remembered over here. Possession of skeleton or hard parts and quick burial are the 2 most important prerequisites of preservation. Prerequisites of preservation. Okay, these are the 2 parts. Okay, possession of skeleton or hard parts and quick burial. Okay, this is you can read on your own, nothing much, which is important in telling you everything. Okay, these are the methods of preservation. Entire organism preserve. Example is this insect preserved in amber. You can read it. Nothing much comes from here. This entire skeleton. Example you can say the best example is of dinosaurs. You can say. Okay, of Brazil is you can read this all. Nothing much from here. Yes, petrification. This is an important thing. Petrification. Process of removal and replacement of organic matter by inorganic matter, thereby converting the material into rock is known as petrification. It can come for 1 mark. Yes, this is an important thing to be known. It can come for 1 mark. Okay, then you can read on further. Examples are given. Petrified wood is given over here. Example. Next you come to carbonization. Process of carbonization formed by carbonized fossils. Okay, you can read over here. Actually, not okay. You can read over here. Next is imprints. You can read this also. These are the methods of preservation of fossils. Imprints. Okay. Next, cast and mold. You can read this too. Okay. Okay. Next, you can come to the next page. Types of fossils. Yes. Two types of fossils: body and trace fossils. They can be a distinguish between body fossils and trace fossils. It can come. Okay. Body fossils are remains of body parts of ancient animals, plants, other forms of life. They can be intact or fragmented. Trace fossils, they provide evidence about movements or activities of organisms. Track, trails, burrows, these all are considered to be trace fossils. Stones, coprolites, worms, burrows, gizzard. Okay. This is a worm burrow or a dinosaur footprint. Okay, these are the example. These are the explanation of each and every word. If you can't understand, you can read this out. Okay, these are the uses of fossils. Okay, uses of fossils. Uses of fossil, what? It's used to determine the geological age. You can say, in short. Okay, it is used to determine the history of the fossil. You should determine in which paleoclimatic condition the fossil was remaining. So you can even come to know that. Next, you can come to know what? You can come to know about how it is correlated in a various stage. Reconstruction can also be done. Exploration of petroleum and coal reserves. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Yes. These are the various terminologies used in paleontology. Index fossil. You can read this. Okay. So yes, sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't come. So better you read and take this. I know I'm telling everything to read and read. I'm not giving you some important, because like nothing mostly comes from this. Pseudo fossil is important. Read this entire paragraph. This is important. Okay. Living fossils. Okay. Reworked fossils. Okay, nothing much. Okay. Okay. Next we move on to Next we move on to the next part of this chapter is stratigraphy. Okay, so stratigraphy, let's see. Okay, so let's start with stratigraphy. Stratigraphy is what? It is a branch of geology that deals with the study of stratified and sedimentary rocks. Okay. Okay, so stratified sedimentary rock. I will make a video of sedimentary rocks also, which comes in petrology. I'm making this video before that. No problem. You can just name sedimentary rocks. Stratification is just observing sedimentary rocks. Just remember that. Okay. Okay. You can reference to that description, identification, content, correlation. Okay. Both are vertical. Stratum means layer. Okay. Out of stratigraphy, stratum means layer. Okay. And graphy means description. Therefore, stratigraphy is a combine of stratification by sedimentary rocks. Okay, now inside stratigraphy we have to see three principles which are very important, and mostly it often these three principles, one of these three has to come. Okay, so principles of uniformitarianism. Okay, so I'll take dark blue. Okay, so this principle was basically given by Scottish geologist. You have to say as it is, word to word. You have to remember this principle. Okay, Scottish geologist James Hutton. Not word to word. Okay, I'm just saying word to word. But even if you remember, it's better you remember word to word. Not the entire thing. I'll tell you what to remember. Okay, you have to say this everything. Okay, it's simple as this is the main statement. It states that the processes that have been acted in the past are essentially the same that as those in operation on the earth today. Yes, this is the main statement. Okay, you can even say this. The present holds the key to the past. Okay, now next, this is the next statement which is important. Actually, we can see the layering and the variation of grain size seen in sediments on the banks of the modern stream as a result of fluctuation in the velocity of stream. Okay. Likewise, we can also see ripple marks on beaches as a product of wave action. Therefore, ripple marks are present. Sedimentary rocks are formed. Ripple marks present in sedimentary rocks are formed by same processes. Okay, what I've underlined, that is the main key point which you have to remember and which you have to write. Okay, this was James Hutton, you can read about him. Next we come to order of superposition. Okay, this had come in 2022. Let me tell you again, I'm going to give you 2022 and 2023 ka paper. Okay, HSC board paper. 2023 ka I'm not marking because I'll give you the entire PDF. 2022 ka I'm saying as I'm reading this out. Order of superposition, this had come. Okay, it was given basically by Steno, a Danish physician, because he was a physician. Okay, he observed on the walls of Arno Valley in Italy this concept of superposition. Okay, what he observed basically, he said that he pointed out that in series of sedimentary layers, see everything of sedimentary, okay, lying in normal position, the rocks at the bottom of the sequence are older than the rocks at the top of the sequence. This is the main thing. However, the rocks are folded, overfolded, thrusted or faulted. It is first necessary to determine whether rocks are in normal position. They are overfolded and thrusted or folded. Determine the normal or they are overturned. Yes, actually basically this entire thing is important. Okay, faunal succession. Okay, so this you have to remember. Next you come to faunal succession. It was given by British surveyor William Smith, regarded as the father of modern stratigraphy. Yes, this is important. Who is the father of modern stratigraphy? Name the following or fill in the blank. MCQs. Okay, William Smith. What he did? He was the first to recognize that fossils can be used to correlate date and strata in which they were found. So during the course of his work, he noticed that the same assemblage of fossils always occur the same. Yes, this is also important. What I'm underlining, that is what you have to write in your exam. Okay, it's the same thing I did, same thing will give you 97 or sometimes more also, can't you? Fossil species in the layers above and below these layers are distinctly different. The fossil are in the same order as wildly is located. No, okay, so layers only is the main part. Okay, the discovery of William Smith led to the establishment of the law of faunal succession. Yeah, that's it. This is important. That's it. Next we come on to stratigraphic correlation. Okay, now this also is something important things are there to be noted. Nothing in this. So you come with your methods of stratigraphic correlation. Over here you can see, yes, it's this lithological correlation, paleontological correlation, physical lateral continuity present. Okay, this is not okay. Okay, I don't feel okay. Now this is an important thing. See, if we can walk, look at this statement, from one locality to another on the same rock type. Okay, suppose you're walking on stratified rock, from one stratified rock to another stratified rock. Okay, one locality you're moving, right, but on the same rock. That principle is called as continuity of strata. Okay, this is an important thing. Suppose you can be given what is the principle of continuity of strata, or you can say if one person moves from one locality to another on the same rock type. Sorry, I'm saying fast. Sorry. One locality to another on the same rock type, it is called as principle of continuity of strata. Okay, lithological correlation. Okay, I'm not giving you much of this. Next we move on to, okay, like this explanation you can read about this. I didn't feel anything important over here. It might be, you can read on if you can see. Paleontological. Okay, now this part, next part you can read. Okay, next part is standard geological time scale, which is one of the most, from इससे तो क्वेश्चन आता ही है. I'm telling you 101% इससे क्वेश्चन आता ही है. Okay, I'll speak a little bit Hindi also if I can. Okay, so what can come from this basically? It can come like age of the earth. This is the age of the earth. Okay, the geological time scale is divided into different duration. Okay, so what is standard geological time scale? This is important. The successive sequential arrangement of geological time units for global reference, not only for a particular part, for global, everywhere this is applicable. It's called as standard geological time scale. It is based on the following criteria. Non-deposition are called as unconformities, the period of non-deposition. Regional unconformities, natural boundaries. Okay, fossils are also great importance. Radiometric analysis, okay, yes. Next part is this important. The time units are eons. Okay, eons, eras, periods, and epochs. In your standard 11th book, this geological time scale is given very nicely. You can see over there also. The largest time unit, yes, this is an important point to be noted. Largest time unit is known as eon. Okay, largest time unit is eon, and that eon is further divided into eras, periods, and epochs. Okay, eras, eon. Okay, the largest time unit is eon, and the smallest time unit is called as epoch. Okay, fine. Next, we move on to, there are two types of eons. Now, eon also is further divided into what? Precambrian and Phanerozoic. Yes, you have to read this, learn this. I don't know, because you can have to, because one of these questions come only what I'm marking. Okay, Precambrian is a time where life was absent, either absent or very primitive, matlab not present only at that time. Okay, now that Precambrian is also divided. Okay, that eon ka Precambrian is other again divided into what? Hardian, Archean, and Proterozoic. Okay, now the second one is what? Phanerozoic. Over here you can see Phanerozoic is further divided into eras, 3 eras. Okay, 3 eras. What are those 3 eras? Paleozoic, which containing ancient life, Mesozoic containing middle life, Cenozoic containing modern life. Okay, so the life of animals of these eras are shown in 3.11 figure. You can see this figure. I'll come back to this. Okay. Okay. The Paleozoic era is further subdivided into 6 periods. Now this Paleozoic era, no, these 2 eras from that Paleozoic is again divided into 6 periods. That is what? Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and Permian. Now how to remember so many are tough, na? So I told you one easy trick to remember this Cambrian, Ordovician, this part. I'll tell you. Just remember this code word: COSDCP. Remember this. Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, and Permian. Now this Carboniferous, this fellow, this second last fellow, is again divided into again subdivided into 2 parts: Mississippian and Penicillian. Okay. Okay. Next we move on. Next part about Mesozoic. Mesozoic era. Where is Mesozoic gone now? Yes. Okay. Paleozoic was divided. Paleozoic का काम खत्म. Next you go to Mesozoic. Mesozoic is again divided. It's divided into our main parts, which we see are dinosaurs wala, Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. And this last part, where is that? Cenozoic. Cenozoic is again divided into Paleogene, Neogene, and Quaternary. Okay, and this Paleogene is again divided into Paleocene, Eocene, and Oligocene. Oligocene, these are epochs. Okay, these are 3 epochs. It's the smallest time unit. And Neogene also. Sorry, I forgot this. Neogene. And Neogene, not Neogene. This Neogene, second wala, is again divided into Miocene and Liocene epochs. And this Quaternary wala is again divided into Lestocene and Holocene epochs. Now how to remember main thing, how to remember how many things under each part, under it subdivided into many parts. Now how to remember? Not to remember, don't remember anything. Just remember this table. If you remember this table, khatam. I know this is looking confusing over here. This table is the main thing. Okay. Now 2022 mein what I had asked, they asked one question on this table pakka. They had asked what events are present in Devonian. Name the event present in Devonian. First amphibians are found. See, these are the events, the periods. Devonian में what? First amphibian. This was the 2022 का question. I don't know it was asked as what. 2022 का. Okay. 2023 में I don't know which that asked. I was the paper who solved, but I don't remember now. I'll give you the paper. I have the paper, but I not have it now. Okay, you have to remember all this. Cambrian में first fishes, first chordates. Ordovician में this was there. Silurian में this. Carboniferous में 2 are there. First reptile, scale trees, seed forms. Permian में major extinction, reptiles diversified. Triassic में first mammals, dinosaurs. Jurassic में dinosaurs diversified. Cretaceous में this 3 extinction, first flowering plants, first primates. Paleogene में Neogen and Neogen mammals diversified. Quaternary में this. Yeah, this is an important can come. Quaternary में evolution of humans. Okay, and these are the eras under which this happened. Okay, so if you remember this, khatam, no need to remember all these things. Okay, so whatever I have marked, just know that. Okay, and in the previous dynamic earth, I told you to remember one question which was asked as the short answer question. I'll read it out. Give any two example of continental land masses that broke up as a result of supercontinent Pangaean. So I told you the answer was Gondwana land and Laurasia. So इसका answer इधर है. See, Gondwana land and Laurasia is the answer. So this answer is here. Okay. That's now we come on to the last part of this thing. Yes, supergroup. Okay. This is actually the same thing, but supergroup मतलब supergroup are found in which this. So first we'll talk about the supergroup first. So supergroup में what we have to do. Now there are how many supergroups total? Let me count. 1, there are 2, there is 3, there is 4, there is 5, there is 6. 6 supergroup में से any one they ask only. Compulsory question. Any one. So what to remember? First of all, first supergroup we'll start with is Dharwar supergroup. It is named after district Karnataka. Okay, you can just say named after the Dharwar system. Next we say, okay, just remember, you have to remember all this. Distribution, age, lithology, fossils, economic importance. Now how can you remember this much? Now this is not any learning subject. This is not history to remember so much. This is geology. Just remember the key points. I'm just giving you underlining. Just remember that. Distribution found in Dharwar, Mysore region. Okay. That's it. Just remember this much. Age, remember it is Archean. Remember this. Lithology. Lithology, you have to lithology, fossils and economic importance you have to remember of all. Lower, middle and upper Dharwar. Lower में this are found, middle में this are found, and upper में this are found. Okay, so I'm not taking the names. I'm just underlining. You can mark it. Fossils important. No evidence of life. Economic importance. Best quality granitic rocks are available. Gold and chromite is found in Dharwar. Largest iron and manganese deposits. Okay, so Dharwar supergroup. Remember this, that's it. Actually, this comes for 3 marks. Which had come last year, 2022 was Gondwana supergroup had come, 2022 mein. And Deccan province, 2 comes. Okay, so 2 comes, 2 might come or 1 might come. Okay, so last time Gondwana had come. This had come in 2022. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Kadapa supergroup. First of all, say where it is found. It is found in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, remember another shape, crescent shape. Crescent shape. It is a 42,000. Is okay if you don't remember. Distribution found in Andhra Pradesh, east west from Tadpatri to Nellore and from Ongre to Tirupati. Okay, this is from north to south and east to west basically. Thickness you can say. Okay, next important age, lower Proterozoic, important age. Lithology consists of all this sedimentary basically, quartzite, limestones, sandstone, slates. Okay, fossils, they are non-fossiliferous. Important. Economic importance, limestone, iron, manganese. You can remember, and don't remember all, just remember at least 2 or 3. That's it, khatam. Okay, Vindhyan supergroup. It is basically found in the Vindhyan mountain in central India, which are well exposed to the rocks. The rocks are well exposed, divided into lower and upper divisions. Distribution found in central India and when exposed to the Sun Valley. Yes, this is important. Sun Valley. Whatever I'm marking, mark in your textbook, please. Upper Proterozoic age. Lithology, again sedimentary, sandstone, shale, limestone, sedimentary rocks. Fossils are what have been reported here. Primitive organisms have been reported here. Yes, this is important. Primitive organisms. Economic importance, these are used for building stones. All okay, sedimentary rocks are used for building stones. Most of the Indian diamonds, where are the Indian diamonds found? In this group. Okay, you have to remember this small points. This can be asked also in name the following. Okay, of answer in one word also they can be asked. Okay, excellent quality of glass sand is obtained. Glass sand. Okay, so what I marked, just mark it, 3 points are more than enough, but write in full sentences. Okay, go on to another. This was the question which had come in 2022. Sorry, 2022. Okay, 2022. Yes, Gondwana is found in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh. Okay, Madhya Pradesh, in the Gond type of Madhya Pradesh. Then it is found in different states. Just remember whichever you can remember. Isolated crops occur in Gujarat and Rajasthan, and it also occurs in the valleys of river Narmada, Damodar, Mahanandi and Godavari. Age, Permo-Carboniferous to Jurassic. Lithology, again sedimentary ones only, sandstone, green sandstone, shale, limestone. Yes, fossils are important. Plant fossils such as Glossopteris, Gangamoteris, conifers, cycads. Animal fossils such as crustaceans, fish, insect, reptiles, dinosaurs, amphibians are found. Economic importance, you can say coal, India's largest coal output, good steam and gas quality. Okay, blast furnace, sandstone is extensively used as building material. Okay, so that's it from economy. You can say something more about it. Next, move on to this part, Deccan Province. Deccan Province had also been asked, but in 2022, but only what had asked, yes, only this had asked. Only economic importance had been asked for 2 marks or 3 marks, I don't remember, 2 or 3 marks. Only this had been asked, economic importance. Okay, so if you remember what you have to do from here, it is located in Western India, flat-topped hills, hence called as plateau basalts. Okay, they occur almost in all parts of Maharashtra, also these states over here, towards the west and thin towards the east, mostly towards the west. Age, you have to remember. Lithology, what you can remember? Yes, their volcanic rock type is found. Volcanic means what is from volcanic? Basalt, fine-grained, porphyritic, from vesicular to amic dialogral. Now this all structures you will study in petrology. Okay, so you have to see that video. Okay, then acidic and intermediate are also found in the west coast. Lower part में what flows? Fluvial sedimentary beds flow, called intertrapine beds. And intertrapine beds में fresh water lacustrine deposits are found. Best example is Malabar Hills of Mumbai. Okay, so Deccan Province DVP is in अपना Mumbai only. Deccan, whoever staying in Mumbai, Malabar Hills of Mumbai. Fossils are what? Turtles, all plants, all aquatic basically. Compact basalt is used for building construction. All basalt only is used, right? Because it's DVP, right? Deccan basalt starts with the name Deccan basalt, so basalt only will be used. Secondary minerals are used to fill the cavities. What are cavities? Basically, if you ask what are cavities, cavities are basically holes present in the rocks. Okay, and those secondary minerals fill the secondary gaps by secondary minerals such as this all. Thin capping of aluminum is used, such as bauxite. Okay, laterite blocks are also used as building material. Last we come to Cenozoic rocks. Cenozoic rocks is what? Present in Rajasthan, found basically in Rajasthan. Okay, it is found on the rivers of Krishna, Godavari and Kaveri. Distribution Rajasthan basically, and Gujarat, Rajasthan, Gujarat. Eocene to Liocene. Lithology again sedimentary only, conglomerate, sandstone, limestone. Fossils, Foraminifera to Ostracoda. Names are a little bit tough to remember, but you have to remember. Oil and gas reservoirs are the main thing found. Okay, and lignite is used. Rocks such as lignite is found away. Okay, this is a summary you can read. So basically, I'm just giving you fatafat the. Okay, what is the answer? Exercise answer. 1 minute. Exercise answer. Cenozoic era is the age of mammals. The principle of uniformitarianism was given by James Hutton. Evidence of seen. The branch of geology we deal with the study of trace fossils, called as paleoichnology. Imprint preserved in the amber is an example of entire organism preserved. Paleozoic era is subdivided into 6 periods. Okay, you can read that. 6. Okay, 6 periods. You can read that as I told you. Largest time unit is known as eon, smallest is epoch. The Dharwar supergroup of rocks have evidence of no life. Okay, so I'll give you this also at the same time. In petrification, only soft part of organism are preserved. False. Index fossils are used in correlation. False. Age of trilobite is Devonian. False. It is what? Cambrian. Decambrian? Yes, it is Cambrian. Age of Deccan basalt is Carboniferous. False. All are false only. It is not Cretaceous. The principle of faunal section is given by William Smith through track and trace example of trace fossils. Yes, through. Okay, this is the last one. The study of growth rings in a tree trunk is known as ichnology. No, it's wrong. It is called as. It's a very difficult word actually. It is called as. I'll write it basically. Dend. D-E-N-D. D-E-N-D-R-O-C-H. R-O-C-H. R-O. Sorry, R-O-C-H. R-O-N-O. R-O-N-O logy. L-O-G-Y. Okay, so it's rock chronology. Okay, so basically it's false only. It's not as called as ichnology. Okay, this is all are true. Okay, all are true. So I'll just write one time only true. This is also true. Okay, you can read it. All are true. Okay, next we move on to the process of carbonization takes place in both animals and plants and animals. The diamond bearing beds are found in which? Vindhyans. But Vindhyans में कहाँ? Conglomerate. Oh, sorry. Conglomerate. Okay. This is which? This answer is what? Devonian belongs to which? A. Fish. B. Cenozoic dinosaur. So correct answer is A. Okay, so that's it, I guess. Okay, second one also is there. This is what? This is the first answer. Dharwar, Kadappa. These all are the super groups. Okay, you can read the super groups. You can come to know. Okay, basically write short notes on this entire thing is there in the textbook. You can read off. Important ones I'll tell you is uniformitarianism, economic importance of Gondwana. Branches of paleontology will not access short note, but I can access. Name the following. Answer in brief is okay. Stratigraphy of India, okay. Yes, see, differentiate between imprint and trace fossils. Uses of fossils can also be asked. Can't say. Yes, and here Dharwar supergroup is more important also. Okay, so what I have marked from this chapter is important. Okay, so that's it from this chapter. Moving on to the next chapter. Go on to the next chapter, that is our 6th chapter, hydrogeology. Okay, so this chapter basically comes for how many marks? As I told you, it comes for 11 marks with option, and without option is for 8 marks. So as compared to the two chapters, dynamic earth and the third chapter, paleontology, it is small as compared to that, so this might finish quickly. So let's start. What is this? Hydrogeology is the branch of geology dealing with study of groundwater. Yes, hydrogeology is dealing with the study of groundwater, its occurrence, movement. Therefore, it is also called as groundwater hydrology, geohydrology, and hydrogeology. These are the names for that. Okay, this is just a reading paragraph to be remembered. Groundwater makes up 1%, you can see, of the earth. Usually restricted to 750 meters, not much, you can just read about this. Okay, this is the main thing, sources of groundwater. Okay, now it can be asked in 2022, it was asked. Okay, they had asked, write a short note, not a short note, I think, what is magmatic water? Yes, it had come in a 4-mark question. The last question which comes combined karke they had asked, what is magmatic water? For 2022 this had come. What is magmatic water? Okay, so this is one of the source of groundwater. So let's see. Okay, so meteoric water is the main source of groundwater. Okay, which originates in the atmosphere and is received in the form of rain or snow. Okay, the downward entry of water into soils and rock surfaces is called as infiltration. Okay, next, the flow of water through soil and porous of fractured rocks is called as percolation. Now this you have to learn. Okay, you have to learn this. Okay, what I'm underlining, because this is the main point which comes to be written. Okay, so groundwater can be also derived directly from atmospheric moisture. Okay, derived directly from atmospheric moisture by condensation of water vapor. Okay, this is also called as condensational water. Okay, so meteoric was called as condensational water also, sorry, and is known as replenish the water table in arid and semi-arid. Okay, this is okay. Second one, it is another source of groundwater that is contained in the pores and cavity of sedimentary rocks. Okay, pores and cavity matrix is found. It is entrapped in the interstices of sedimentary rock at the time of deposition. Okay, connate water actually doesn't come, mostly meteoric and magmatic only comes. Okay, so if you just read it, highly mineralized and salty water is obtained from mixed readily with meteoric water. Okay, so this is salty water actually, basically. Magmatic water is what comes from where? Volcanoes. Hot magma contains considerable amount of gases and vapors. The water vapors on condensation are converted to groundwater. Yes, the condensation are converted to groundwater are called as magmatic water. This is also called as juvenile water. Okay, this is also called as juvenile water. If you say these points now, pakka your 2 marks is confirmed. Okay, such water is considered to have been generated on the interior of the earth. Okay, yes. Now this is one of the most this is pakka, this question comes only. Vertical distribution of groundwater. This had come for 4 marks. Yes, this entire answer had come for 4 marks. Vertical distribution of groundwater. So let's see the answer where it goes to. Yes, this entire thing along with this diagram. I'll tell you till where the answer is. The answer is still actually okay. So what is you can infer from this? So you can say yes. The level beneath which all pores in the rocks are filled with water is called as water table. This is the point of what I'm underlining, that only you have to remember. Okay. Next thing, the zone extending from water table to an impermeable layer is called as saturated zone. Yes, that's it. Yes, come down. The zone between the ground surface and top of the capillary fringe is called as unsaturated zone, which consists of voids. Okay, this you can say if you want. Partially filled with water and air. Okay, next you come to next point, you come here. Okay, this is another point. Zone between bottom and unsaturated zone and top of the water table is called as capillary zone. Yes. Next is the unsaturated zone can be further subdivided into soil water zone and intermediate zone. Okay, this zone table between ground surface and top of the water table is known as Vadose zone. Okay, and it's part of the unsaturated and capillary zone. Yes. Okay, so water present in the Vadose zone is called as Vadose water and it is held in pressure at a pressure less than the atmospheric pressure. That's it, khatam, idhar hai. Okay, along with this you have to do the diagram also. The diagram also is important. Yes, you have to do this diagram along with this answer if it comes. Okay, if they ask write a short note for 2 marks, then diagram might not be important, but if it comes for 4 marks, diagram is important. Sometimes they only ask a diagram, vertical distribution of water, groundwater, so this diagram is important. Okay, next you can say nothing much over here. Okay, next we come to hydrological properties of rocks. Okay, so here is what I'm underlining, you just remember that this comes. Okay, porosity is the ratio of volume of void space to total volume of this. Porosity ka one more definition is there in another chapter, I'll tell you that later. Specific yield, yes, this is another thing. What I'm underlining, you just remember that. Okay, next we move on to, yes, okay, you can just read this part, nothing much. Permeability, the capacity of water bearing formation to transmit water is called permeability. This had come, I think, in 2000 my paper 2023 ke paper mein this had come, I guess so. I don't remember so much because my paper was in March, right? This is May, it is 31st of May. Yes, aquifer comes, mostly it comes 2022 may any question had come on aquifer, I guess so, it had come. Yes, a porous rock is not always a good aquifer. For me exercise it had come. Okay, so aquifer is what? An aquifer is a rock formation of porous rock material, considerable porosity and permeability. Characteristic of aquifers. Okay, now aquifers के अंदर there are different terms introduced. Okay, one is an aquicloud. Remember the definition. It come from my paper, I don't remember which one it comes. There is aquicloud, there is aquifuge, and there is aquitard. There are 3 things, one of these can come as a 1 sentence answer. Read it, you can read it over here. It is a rock formation which is porous enough to hold sufficient quantity of water but does not allow flow of water easy and quickly. Aquifuge is an impermeable rock formation through which no possibility of storage or movement of water is done. Compact granite, I have given example also. Okay, you can read out the examples also. Aquitard is what? Flow of water permits but does not yield sufficient quantity of water compared to an aquifer. Example, sand, clay. Now aquifers are further divided into unconfined, confined and perched. Okay, it can come, I'm not sure, it can come. So the definition of an unconfined is what? You can say an unconfined aquifer has an impermeable layer at its base called as, hence it is called as unconfined. You can say base पे impermeable layer is there. Where is that layer? Yes, see, the bedrock is a layer. Upper surface is called, okay, this upper surface aeration is called a water table, hence it is under atmospheric pressure, therefore it is also called as rheatic aquifer. Yes, important thing to remember, rheatic aquifer. Diagram is important. Yes, diagram is important. Okay, next we move on to perched aquifer. It is a special case of unconfined aquifer. Actually unconfined ka hi hai, the first one. Special case, what is special case? You can see this, thing, you can see this thing over here, this thing, this is the difference, that's it. This thing, you can see this like a solid layer over here, that's it. This layer is present here also, na? And this layer is present here also. That is the difference. But over here you can see this layer is only present down. Okay. You can see over here this type of aquifer occurs when an impermeable or a relatively impermeable layer of a limited area is in the form of lens located in the form of bearing of unconfined aquifer. What it stores water. It stores water here, it stores water here also. So that's it. This water storage is created above the lens. Okay. Hence it is called as perched. Confined aquifer. It is also called as artesian aquifer. Just remember the other names also, okay? That is called as what? Rheatic, that and confined. Confined is called as artesian. Okay? You can read this out, okay? It is an overlain as well as underlain by confining aquifer. The imaginary level up to which the water will rise is called as mesometric surface. Okay, the fourth one is leaky aquifer. What is leaky aquifer? One of the simple one. Okay, it is an overlain or underlain by semi-previous layers to which leakage of water takes place, and this is called as leaky aquifer. Leaky aquifer doesn't come usually. Just remember unconfined, confined, and perched. Unconfined and confined, even if you remember, it's more than enough. Okay, now this is nothing much. Methods of rainwater harvesting. One is what? Rooftop. There are two types. One is rooftop rain harvesting, and the other one is what? Surface rainwater harvesting. Two types. Rooftop के अंदर ये आते हैं, recharge pit. Okay, you can read out this. Okay, I don't want to underline everything, others you will be saying that I am underlining everything. Read the entire textbook. Actually, you should read the textbook because everything comes from the textbook. Actually, I had not learnt anything for my exam. I just read the textbook. That's it. Khatam. And just memorize it. Tend to read and memorize it. Okay, so these are just the stratification, like we'll say. Diagram, not necessary. It should come. I don't feel. Okay, this is the second one, recharge trends. Just read it. Maybe a small question can be asked. Just read it. That's it. Third is second is recharge trends, and third is recharge tube wells. Where it's gone? Yes. Okay. Next we come on to this part. Surface runoff harvesting. Surface पे क्या होता है? Gully perk, then there's contour bud, then there's check dam, there's gabion structure, there's percolation tank. Okay, just read it. Okay, dug well, recharge. Okay, so now if you may have seen my first video, I may have told you that from this chapter practical activity comes. So this is that activity which comes to calculate the quantity of rainwater harvesting on rooftop. So this is the formula to be remembered. Q is equal to A into C into P. Basically what they will tell you to calculate Q, that is what? Quantity of rainwater. They will give you area. They will give you C, that is runoff coefficient, and they will give you P also, that is what? Mean annual rainfall. So just multiply 3 and you will get the answer. But area they have given, how will they give you C? Sorry, C they will not give you. Runoff coefficient they will not give you. Okay, so runoff coefficient is this. So you have to remember these values. These values now you have to remember. Now they will give you rooftop only. Okay, so it's given over here na, rooftop rain harvesting. So they will give you this only, roof catchment. So you have to remember these values. Example, they are giving an example. Okay, see, they are giving you area, they are giving you rainwater. Okay, so they have to on where? On a concrete roof. So concrete roof matlab kidhar? Where is concrete roof? 0.7 you have to remember. 0.7 of concrete roof. So just multiply 120 into 990, 0.7 will give you 75,600 liters per year. This is the unit to be remembered for all. Liters per year. Okay, this is a practical you have to remember. Okay, anything runoff coefficient they can ask you to just remember. Okay, mostly they ask tiled roof and concrete roof only, because for my exam they had asked concrete roof only. Okay, for my college at least. These are the types of watershed. Mostly this they don't ask. Yes, objective you have to remember. Just remember I have marked. Just remember the first one, remember the third one, remember the fourth one, remember the sixth one, and remember the eighth one. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 remember, more than enough. That's it. You can just read this, nothing much. In last part we come to the exercise. Hydrogeology is often referred to as this all. So what is the answer? In the first paragraph I told you, groundwater hydrology, green paragraph, right? Dash is the main source of groundwater. Which is the main source? Meteoric. Yes, meteoric. Artesian is not there, bhai. Anything, the artesian is what? Aquifer. Magmatic is there. The zone between groundwater surface and top of the capillary fringe is called as what? Zone of aeration. Porosity is a ratio. Porosity, I told you, I have marked over there and kept. Porosity is a ratio of volume to void space. The capacity of water bearing formation to transmit water is called as permeability. Confined aquifer also is known as unconfined. I have marked over there also, so they can ask you the other name also. So be careful. Okay, rheatic. It is not a method of rooftop rainwater harvesting. Rooftop, it is not a method. What is that? Recharge gabion. There are only 3 types of rooftop rainwater. This 3. This is what? Surface rainwater. They are constructed along small streams having gentle slopes. So if you read that, if I told you read those rooftop and rainwater, you will come to this. Check dams. Gully pug allows the passage of water through walls. So if you read those 3, rainwater, rooftop and surface, you will aram se solve this 3 or 4 MCQs. Okay? Next you can say, okay, last one question is there. Rooftop rainwater, yes, that diagram. Those gravels, pebbles, coarse grains, that, okay? So the answer is filled with bottom gold like this, okay? As I mark over there, explain the term aquifer, aquitard, aquifuge, aquicloud. Everything is there in that paragraph. You can do from there. Okay, so this was the question which I had asked in 2022. 2022 का question this is, okay? It is the same thing of that paragraph. Characteristics of good, everything is there. This is about vertical distribution. This is aquifer, this is meteoric, first sources of groundwater. Okay, so that's it from this chapter. I hope you have enjoyed the chapter. If you have any doubts related to these 3 chapters, please put it in the comment section. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do like, subscribe to get the notification of the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. Cheers.